So, today I am going to talk to you about how to pass your call center training. Yes, of course, because you've spent so many hours, so many days of applying, so many days of worrying whether you get the job or not, and you did not pass your call center training. So that's one of the most important things that you have to think about right after you got hired. How to pass your call center training and actually start taking calls and be paid for it. Once again to my channel. My name is Rhea and you're still watching Call Center Ninja, sharing with you real stories and tips to enjoy and survive your call center lifestyle. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing by clicking the red subscribe button on my YouTube channel. And if you're watching this on Facebook, please also like my Facebook page, and I'll also link my YouTube channel as well. So as I've mentioned in this video, we're going to talk about how to pass your call center training. Hopefully the first time. I have my notes here. Yes, I do have my notes all the time, just to make sure that I don't miss anything. So how do I know that these are the guidelines? Well, I'm not saying that this is exactly everything that you need to know to pass your call center training, because every company, each account has its own criteria, own evaluation method or process, and how to make sure that each trainee or each applicant is ready to take calls or not. So what I'm going to share with you is based on my experience and based on other people's experience that I know of, because it's basically or pretty much the same thing for most of the companies, but at least you know what to do, diba? It's better than not knowing what to do at all. So the first thing that you have to do to pass your call center training, and I think everyone will agree to this, it's to be present every single day. Yes, and not just physically but also mentally. So you're present every day, but you're mentally absent. You know what they say, when you're there physically but your mind is somewhere else because you can't focus or you're always distracted. Doesn't help at all. And I think it's very obvious why I'm saying that you have to be present every day. And how will you be able to learn your lessons, your topics? How will you be able to understand what you're going to do, what your role is, if you're not there every single day? And you're still on training, so it's very understandable that you are expected to be present. And I really think that even though you're the best performer, you are very skilled in taking calls, you are a tenured agent, you've been to so many different call centers, but if you lack this one thing, you're always absent, you're always late, it won't do you any good at all. It just won't show your commitment. So be present, take your attendance very seriously, and not just go to work every day, but actually be punctual, be early. Don't be reminded to be early all the time. That will help you become more confident, because you know that you are ready to take on the work every day. And on tips to be more confident when speaking in a call center environment, I also have a video that I made last week. I will link to that video down below, so go ahead and check it out. And then number 2, aside from being present, is to study your lessons and listen to your trainer. Very important. It might be boring sometimes because you're like back in school listening, and we can't control what the trainers will do in every class. Like in my case, sometimes when I train, I'm very soft spoken. Sometimes I feel that my trainees are already sleepy, so I do try my best to sound lively, to sound energetic, but it can also drain your energy at the end of the day. So on a trainer standpoint, please also understand that. But you know, you can talk about it with your trainer, how you want to be trained or how you want to be handled, so that win-win situation, everybody's happy. And aside from listening to your trainer, it also shows that you are respecting him or her and the job that he or she does. And it's not easy. You know, it's not easy to communicate the knowledge or to share the knowledge. So when you don't listen in the class, you don't genuinely listen, you might miss out on some important things that the trainer says that are not in your handbook, guidebook, or knowledge base or whatever. Because the trainer, of course, I assume that the trainer has enough experience to understand what's going on the floor when you're taking calls. So the trainer will always give you tips and tricks or hacks that you can use that are not on your guidebook. So if you don't listen genuinely, you might miss out on that, and diba, sayang. Not everything can be learned in your guidebook. So make sure to always listen. And then the next one, number 3, is be proactive. Don't wait for your trainer to ask questions. If you need to ask a question, if you need help, then go ahead and ask questions. Go ahead and ask for help, because nobody can read your mind. Well, sometimes I do. When I was training, during my training classes, if I ask my trainees, is it clear? Are we clear? Or did you understand everything? You know, when I see that their faces are blank and, you know, I think they really did not understand what I said, then I will have to repeat it. So you will have to speak your mind so that the trainer will know. It's only through asking questions that your thoughts or your hesitations will be answered. So please be proactive. And in relation to that, be responsible for your own learning. As I've mentioned in my previous video, everything will not be discussed, or not everything will be discussed. So it's not going to be spoon-fed to you. You have to work hard on your own and be accountable and responsible for your own learning. And what does that mean? If you need to study ahead of time before work, then do so. If you need help because there's something you don't understand, ask a teammate who you think understood the lesson very well. Ask your trainer during your break, during your free time, or even after shift. So there. And the next thing is always practice. Aside from studying the lessons or the knowledge part, of course, you also have to show your skills. You also have to show that you're actually improving. So even though you don't have any call center experience like I did when I started, I don't even have a background about travel, financial stuff, and I did not really know exactly what I would do with that job of mine. I just went with the flow and followed whatever they said during the training. It's not that you don't have an advantage. Actually, there's an advantage when you're a call center newbie or it's the first time you're working in a call center, because at least you're still very open-minded to everything that will be taught to you, and you have a fresh look and fresh perspective of the call center, which is good. But if you already have a call center experience, well, it already depends on you how you'd look at the call center industry or, you know, call center training. Because during call center training, it's a mix of newbies, tenured agents, and whatever. So as I mentioned, again, always practice. Practice makes progress. And the training room is the best place for you to make mistakes, because you're not going to touch the customer's account. You're not really going to speak to a real customer over the phone just yet. So make as much mistakes as you can and learn from it. But of course, come exam time, just make sure, of course, that you pass the exam. And your role plays, mock calls, or phone simulations, because that's how you're going to be evaluated, and that's how they will know if you are going to be endorsed to the floor or not. The next one is very important: follow rules, policies, regulations, and instructions. So watch out for your behavior, my dear. Whether you're a call center newbie or someone who has call center experience, well, in this case, I think I'm speaking mainly to newbies or those who don't have any experience at all, because those who have gone through this already know what to do. So it's already their choice if they're going to follow rules or not. And, you know, they know the consequences of that. But even though you're the best, again, like attendance, even though you're the best performer, you are the most skilled in the class, but you don't follow instructions or policies, you might be terminated even before you get endorsed to the floor. You might be terminated even before your training ends. So you have to observe proper conduct and show good behavior while in training. What are some examples of that? Let's say if the account policy says that you're not supposed to bring mobile phone inside the classroom, then don't bring mobile phone, and don't be pa-cool and bring mobile phone in the classroom. Of course, no cheating during examinations. Listen to your trainer, respect your trainer, respect the management. Do not say or do not use negative words or do not cuss in the room, or any other things that based on your common sense, of course, is not a good behavior. And if you just follow rules and regulations, everything should be fine. I've seen these happen in the classroom, and even though I don't want to believe them, it actually happened. So I've seen a trainee cheat in the classroom, even though it's open notes. I've seen, well, I did not see it, but it happened to the class that he attended before mine. A trainee brought a snake, his pet snake, in the classroom, which I find so funny now thinking about it. I also encountered a trainee who gave me a promissory note saying that he would like to be absent every Friday of our training, and that sometimes he would not be able to go back to work after lunch. Unbelievable, right? And those are just some examples. Well, I've had several trainees who actually brought their mobile phones in the classroom even though it's not allowed. So why do you have to break the rules when you already know that, you know, you're not supposed to do them? So I don't know what the reasons are, but I hope it's unintentional. But, you know, if just know the rules, follow them, and you'll be safe. If you're not terminated, then maybe you'll get a warning, which is not good. You're still in training and then you already have a warning. Diba? What else? Tip number 6, we're already down to number 6, is be optimistic or be positive always. Because the call center industry can be very toxic, as they say, and you might give up just before you even started. I've seen several trainees who did not last that long, maybe just first week or second week, and then they went AWOL, or that they felt that the job is not for them. Again, I have a video about that, 7 questions you need to consider before you start applying for a call center job. I'm also going to link that down below. But when you're already there, when you're already joining the call center training, just claim it. Be positive and avoid spreading negative vibes to the class. Like, do not bring the class down. Have a can-do attitude, that you can actually do it and that you will actually pass the training. And then spread that good vibes to your entire class or to your teammates. If you have a problem with the management, with the pay, with your trainer, talk about it. Do not quit just because there's a sign that everything is not going well. You try to at least work on it, because it's not easy to find a job nowadays, and it's not easy to go through it all again. So there, have a positive attitude. And then last but not the least is definitely enjoy your call center training, and enjoy it in a way that it will not affect your performance, it will not affect your attendance. So every weekend, do things that you love doing. Do your hobbies, go out with your teammates, hang out with them. Or if you want to go solo, then go ahead and do that as long as you're happy. But the most important thing is to enjoy it, because 5 days worth of training, 8 to 9 hours of listening to your trainer, doing stuff inside the classroom is not easy. So give yourself a break. You deserve that. Eat out and do whatever you like during weekends. But come Monday, then make sure you are also head on facing your job and you're ready to go back to number one. Be present, practice, study, and do your best. Give the best performance that you have, because even though you have a little learning curve and you think that you don't have the best skills, you don't have the best communication skills, the best grammar, the best pronunciation, you're not the best in call handling, but if you show your trainer and if you show the management that you're committed to your job by being present and by being proactive, by showing even just a little improvement, then I can say that they will gladly accept you. And that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. I hope you've learned something from this video. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click the red subscribe button on YouTube down below. Or if you're watching this on Facebook, I will also link my YouTube channel as well. If you have any comments or topic suggestions, then please don't hesitate to comment them down and I will definitely consider those. Thank you so much again and see you next Friday.